Hello, guys. This is Tipo from Salvation Today. Today, I'll be talking about a prominent voice, someone who gave hope in times of struggles for African Americans, for whites, for those lacking spirit, those who, though succeeding in society, had problems with their spirit and they needed someone to fill it. This was Billy Graham. You can argue anything you want, but we all know that Billy Graham was someone who gave hope to the nations. To the persecuted, he brought freedom. Through the Spirit, he truly embodied a Christ like figure among us. And he walked and talked like Christ, and he was an example to all. Billy Graham was a American evangelist. He He had many crusades during his 6 decades on television. From 1947 until his retirement in 2005, he had a radio show called Hour of Decision from 1950 to 1954. He repudiated racial segregation at a time when racial segregation was at its widest. He invited people like Martin Luther King to preach at revivals, and it's estimated his website has been estimated, his crusades, his sermons have been estimated to preach to at least 210 million people in this world. That's like an eighth of the people in the world, and that's like in more than 185 countries and territories. That is that is so huge. Those are numbers that we have not seen before. Those are numbers that only presidents have. And I'm not talking about presidents now, I'm talking about kings who had empires long time ago. These are numbers that only Alexander the Great, people like that, only they had that amount of people under their influence. He was basically the church himself. He spread the news. He had a group himself. He spoke about the true church, about the true body that is Christ, the church that is Christ. So today I just want us to listen to a classical sermon of Billy Graham and the hope that he spoke and the message of Christ, the message of revival that he spoke. King.
Now, I find the psychological and spiritual and moral vacuum in the United States and in Europe and America and many other parts of the world. Millions of young people have no purpose for living and no motivating challenge. And young people are restless, I find. They want a cause. They want a song to sing. They want a flag to follow. And into that type of a situation came Hitler. He found Germany with millions of young people unemployed, millions of young people marching and demonstrating for this cause and that cause, and into that vacuum came Hitler and built that mighty military machine that almost conquered Europe and the world. Ernest Hemingway, the great writer, once said, "I live in a vacuum that is as lonely as a radio tube when the batteries are dead and there's no current to plug it into." And you know, there are many young people that just never make up their mind. They never make a definite decision. Now, Christ never allowed us to be bystanders or spectators when it came to him. The word Christian actually means a partisan for Christ. It means that you have chosen Christ and you're following Christ. And partisans are never neutral. And we see today radical young people all over the world stirring up trouble, bombing hotels, bombing in airplanes, hijacking planes. They're following some sort of a cause, and a lot of times we don't know what their cause is. They're restless. They want something to do. Somebody said the best thing that could happen in some parts of the world was to have a war. May God forbid. But young people want something. And these young people that we're reading about in our newspapers every day and watching on television, they never play it safe. They never sit on the fence. They're never spectators in the struggles of our times. They commit themselves to whatever their cause may be. And I want to ask you, are you a Christian? I mean a true Christian, a real Christian. Somebody asked an Anglican down in London when we were down there. They were trying to witness, and they said, are you a Christian, sir? He said, I've been an Anglican all my life, and nobody's going to make a Christian out of me. And down in Texas, they asked a man on the street in Fort Worth, Texas, said, are you a Christian? He said, no, thank God I'm a Baptist. The word Christian was used first in derision. It's a term of reproach. And many people have a wrong idea of what a Christian is really like. They say, well, a Christian is a person who prays. Christians pray, but that doesn't make you a Christian, a true Christian. Or they live by the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. That doesn't make you a Christian. You may be sincere. I watched a man in an American football game, and there were 90,000 people in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, and he carried that ball down the field. The crowd cheered, but he ran the wrong way and got a goal for the other team and lost the game. He was sincere. My mother was sincere when I was a little boy and gave me what she thought was cough syrup for my cold and gave me iodine. And she called up quickly the doctor, and the doctor said, give him some cream. Well, we had a little dairy farm with about 60 cows, and she almost filled me up with cream. You say, well, a Christian is a person that goes to church. Yes, a Christian ought to go to church, but that doesn't make you a Christian. You can be baptized, and you can do all of those things, and you can be called Christian, but I'm talking about a real, genuine, personal relationship with Christ. Do you have that? Or one who keeps the Ten Commandments. I've never met anybody that kept the Ten Commandments. I haven't kept them. You haven't kept them. Did you know that everybody in this stadium and everybody watching has broken every commandment? The Bible says that if you break one commandment, you've broken them all. So we've broken the whole of the Ten Commandments, and that is called sin in the Bible. And the Bible says all have sinned and come short of God's requirements, come short of God's glory. Now, first, a Christian is a person who has made a choice. Secondly, a change has taken place in his life. And thirdly, he's accepted a challenge. And I want to make those the three things I want to emphasize. First, he's made a choice. All the way through the Bible, we're asked to make a choice. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden made the wrong choice. They rebelled against God. They chose to build the world without God. And they made a mistake, a terrible, tragic mistake, and we're paying for it today, because all the problems in the world today, including death, comes from the fact that our first parents.
Yeah, guys, that is so true. We all have a choice every single day to follow God or to not. There's no in between. There's no let me put my hands on both sides of the line. No, you have to give everything. You have to pick up your cross and sacrifice your life. You have those who lose their life so Christ will gain life. And those who hold on and cling on to their lives will lose it.
Broke God's law and passed it on to Cain and Abel, their children. Cain became a murderer. and passed it on to you and me. And we're all capable of sin, and we all sin. David said, in sin did my mother conceive me. I was born in sin. We're sinners by choice. We're sinners by practice. Every choice we make affects others. Moses, before he died, said to all the people of Israel, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, and both you and your children will live.
Choose life, guys. Choose life. You can only choose life or death. There is no in between. There's no later on. Breathe now. The average human being can hold their breath for about 1 minute. I think so. It has gone down. It used to be higher. 1 minute. You can't go on without Christ. You need Him now and forever. I love you, and Christ loves you. Will you accept His love?